So very good afternoon to my dear students. Let's begin with the industrial pharmacy first. Dear student, today we will going to start the new chapter, the new unit from your industrial pharmacy first. Now that unit is onto the tablet. We had already finished the details associated with the pre-formulation, and hereafter we will go through the tablets. So after learning the details associated with the tablet, you should be able to understand that what is the tablet, what are its advantages, disadvantages, what are the ideal properties of the tablet, what are the types of the tablets, how the tablets are classified, what is granulation, how is it important, why it is important, how it is done during the process of tablet manufacturing. And for this, the lesson plan that will move through these topics, we will going to be covering the definition, then ideal properties, then advantages and disadvantages and classification of the tablets. Then we will go through the types and classification of excipients, some of the basic steps of formulation of tablets, and granulation methods. In case of granulation method, we will go through the different processes of granulation, the different factors affecting the rate of and the process of granulation, and the different equipments that are used in case of the granulation.
I don't know phone name.
We will also study the method of granulation, that is wet granulation and the dry granulation. So let us start with the tablets. Now when we are talking about the tablet, I think no one is here who is going to be attending this online lecture who don't know that what the tablets are, isn't it? Is there anyone who don't know what is the tablet? I think no one, because every one of us, we might have gone through the process of illness, and that when we fall ill, at that time we might have consumed the tablet. We might have taken the tablet, like say the paracetamol tablet, aspirin tablet, isn't it? So that is what is the tablet, and that's why it is said that it is the most common and convenient dosage form. Why it is called as most common? Because say almost 70% of the total medicines, or if you will go to the medical store, almost more than 60% of the content, these are covered by the tablets only. It is convenient dosage form. If you will see the elixir, if you will see the emulsion, if you will see the suspension, if you will see the aerosol, compared to that, the tablet, that is very easy, that is very convenient to handle and to carry. That's why it is said that it is the most common and the convenient dosage form. We can just keep it in our pocket and we can go for our tour, or say if we may go out of our home. That is not the case associated with the elixir or the suspension bottle, isn't it? So how to define the tablet? As far as the definition of tablet is concerned, what we can say that what the tablet are, what kind of dosage form it is the solid dosage form. What is the shape of the tablet? It is flat, it is biconcave, isn't it? It is dish-like structure, right? How we can deliver the drug? The deliver delivery of the drug that can be carried out with the help of the unit dosage form. How the tablets are to be taken? The tablet that can be taken with or without glass of water or a sip of water, right? So in order to define the tablet, we need to summarize all these things. So what the tablets are? Tablets, or how to define the tablet? We can define the tablet in such a way that the tablets are the solid, flat or biconvex dishes, unit dosage form prepared by compressing a drug or a mixture of drugs with or without diluents. Isn't it? The tablet that might be with or without diluent. Diluent, these are the agents which are going to be added in order to form the bulk or in order to impart the specific properties, specific functions, specific characteristics to that of the tablet. And how these are prepared? These are prepared with the help of the method which is said to be the compression method, right? So tablets are solid, flat or biconvex dishes, unit dosage form prepared by compressing a drug or a mixture of a drug. Sometimes we will add one drug. Sometimes we will go for adding the multiple drug. Let us say diclopara. Diclo, there is a presence of the what to say that dicyclomine along with the paracetamol, diclopara. Or there is a diclofenac, diclofenac along with the paracetamol. More than one or sometimes only one drug, paracetamol. Along the paracetamol that will going to be added, right? With or without diluents. If need arises, there is a need to add the diluents. If the quantity of the active pharmaceutical ingredient is much more, so that it will form the tablet, in that case, it may not require the addition of the diluents. That is what is the tablet, the way by which we can go for defining it. Now, after defining the tablet, what are the ideal characteristics we can expect from the tablet, or how the tablet should be once we are preparing it, once we are producing it? So it should be elegant. Elegant product identity. Its identity should be elegant. That means it should be smooth, it should be elegant to our eyes, it should be eye soothing, it should not have cracks, it should not have chips, it should not have capping, it should not have lamination, isn't it? So its look should be elegant. It should be free from the defects, right? It should be free from the defects like say the chips, cracks, discoloration and the contamination. There is a need to have the uniformity in case of the coloration, and it should not be contaminated with that of the any kind of materials like say the fibers, dust and all. So that it should be properly packed. Sufficient strength to withstand mechanical shock. The tablet must have the sufficient degree of strength. It should have must minimum degree of the hardness so that it can withstand the mechanical shock and agitation during its production, packaging, shipping, and the dispensing. And its transportation also. The tablet that is going to be prepared, that is going to be formed, that is going to be produced at somewhere in the corner of the country, and it will going to be made available in another corner of the country or another corner of the world, right? So that will require the transportation. During transportation, it will subjected to that of the mechanical shockings. So during this transportation, it should not affect its original quality, original shape. It should not undergo the process of the friability. So that it should have sufficient degree of hardness. It should have chemical stability. Chemical stability in terms of shelf life is concerned. In layman term, we can call it as an expiry date. Right from the date of manufacturing of the tablet till it get used and till it will remains into the shelf. So that period is said to be the shelf life. Physical stability. Its color should not get affected. Its physical integrity should not get modified. Like say the shape of the tablet that should not get changed. Then the release of the drug in desired and the reproducible manner. Whatever the drug has been mentioned, let's say for example 500 milligram of the paracetamol. So the 500 milligram of paracetamol that should be released from the tablet. So all these are the ideal characteristics that we are expecting when we are going for the tablet kind of dosage forms. Now, what are the advantages? Why we are going for the tablet, or why the tablet that is much more popular dosage form? It must have certain kinds of advantages, definitely. So here is a list of all these advantages. The first most advantage that is, it is the unit dosage form. That means it can deliver only a single unit of the dose. Let's say, for example, there is a strip of paracetamol tablet which will contain 10 tablets. Now, each tablet that will delivers the 500 milligram of the paracetamol exactly. So that's why it is said that it is the unit solid dosage form. Once we will take a single tablet that is responsible for delivering, that is responsible for giving or releasing the 500 milligram of the paracetamol. There is no another kind of dosage form which will going to be producing the unit dosing. If you will go for the some liquid kind of dosage form, elixir or the suspension, they do not deliver the unit dosage form, but these are the multiple unit dosage forms. The tablet that is having the low cost of production. So again, that is the advantageous point, because say at a high speed we can go for producing the lakhs of tablets in a day, the crores of tablets in a day. That's why its cost of production that is less. It is tamper proof. Once we had broken the particular packaging and we had taken out the tablet that can be taken as such. It cannot be placed, it cannot further be placed into its packaging. So it is the tamper proof. No one can go for making any kind of alterations, modifications into the single unit of the tablet. It is lightest and the most compact. Yes, very small quantity or very small size is there which will contain the drugs. It is cost effective in packaging and the shipping. It do not require much more packaging, like say simply the strip packaging or say blister packaging, that will be sufficient other than that of the secondary and the tertiary packagings. Next, it is the no medical supervision is needed for taking. It is very easy to take it. Just we have to take out the tablet, we have to place it onto our tongue, we have to take a sip of glass of water, and it does not require technician, it does not require the expertise. Anyone can go for administering the tablet dosage form. So that's why it do not require the medical supervision while taking the tablet. Shows the longer shelf life than that of the liquid dosage form. If you see all other kinds of dosage form, they will be having expiry, they will be having shelf life less than that of the tablet kind of dosage form. So the tablet that will offer the longer shelf life. The drug release rate can be modified to meet the demand. Yes, we can go for modifying the release of the drug either in the form of the controlled release, sustained release, modified release, right? With the help of addition of the polymers that already we saw while studying the pre-formulation and the polymerization. So we can go for modifying the release of the drug with the help of use of the particular polymers, and we can modify the dosage form in the form of say modified and sustained and the controlled release kind of the formulations. When this much number of advantages are there, the tablet that is associated with few number of disadvantages also. So what these are? The drugs which are destroyed in stomach cannot be prepared in tablets. For example, proteins and the peptides. These are having the proteinous nature. So they will get degraded when they will come in contact with that of the acidic gastric environment. That is the hydrochloric acid. That is the gastric juice. So such drugs like say the proteins, peptides, and the enzymes, they cannot be given by the tablet kind of dosage form. The drug with bitter taste and odor cannot be formulated in tablets without modification. Yes, we need to mask the taste, we need to mask the odor, for which we need to add the sweetening agent, for which we need to add the flavoring agent in order to mask the bitter taste and the odor of the drugs. So that is the disadvantage associated with the tablet. The peaks and valley effect in plasma time concentration curve for the immediate release dosage forms. Yes, as we saw in the previous lecture, in case while studying the particular graphical representation, that is the time versus plasma concentration, there we need to give the tablet multiple time in order to maintain the plasma concentration within the range of the minimum and maximum therapeutic concentration. So that is responsible for giving the peaks and the valleys effect in case of plasma time concentration curve. The drug with too short half-life that cannot be formulated. Yes, so again that is the disadvantage. In addition to all these, if the patient that is uncooperative, if the patient is comatose, in that condition, we cannot use the tablets as the person is unable to take the tablet. In case of the dysphagia condition, where there is a difficulty of swelling, in that case, we cannot go with the tablet kind of dosage form. So all these are the disadvantages. If there is a vomiting, in that case also we cannot go for giving the tablet kind of dosage form. So all these are the disadvantages that are associated with that of the tablet in addition to all these advantages. Now, if you see the classification of the tablets, how the USP had classified the tablet, the USP had classified the tablet into the two major classes. The first one that is said to be the immediate release tablet, and the second one is said to be the modified release tablet. So this is the class 1, this is the class 2. As far as the modified release tablets are concerned, the examples are extended release tablet and the delayed release tablet. Whereas in case of the immediate release or the class 1 type of classification given by the USP, the examples are the disintegrating tablet, chewable tablets, effervescent tablets, sublingual and the buccal tablets, and the lozenges. So this is the classification given by the USP. Now, what the immediate release tablets are? The conventional and the disintegrating tablet, it is the most common type of the tablet, that is released rapidly after administration. The immediate release, they will quickly release the drug from that of the tablet, because these are the conventional tablet and these are the disintegrating tablet. They will contain the disintegrant, as a result of which very quickly they goes into the solution. They will release the drug very quickly, rapidly. They are intended to be swallowed. They should be swallowed, and disintegration and dissolution, that will be followed by its swallowing. As soon as it will goes into the stomach, there it will subjected to the process of disintegration, dissolution, and release of the drugs. So they generally require the different excipients. What these are? They will require the filler when there is a low quantity of the active pharmaceutical ingredient, or when the dose of the drug that is very, very small. In that case, there is need to add the fillers. Fillers, these are nothing but the bulk forming agents. There is need to add the disintegrant, there is need to add the binder, there is need to add the glider, there is need to add the lubricant, and there is need to add the antiadherent. Again, all these glider, lubricant, and the antiadherent, they will be having a specific function. So we will going to come to know into our coming slides what is their functions are. The next kind of tablet, that is the chewable tablet. Now, this chewable tablet, that is especially for the children and the elderly people who cannot able to swallow the tablet. In that case, they need to chew the tablet so that it will going to be crushed into the mouth and then it will going to be swallowed. It can be taken with or without water. It may not require the swallowing. It requires simply chewing. So because of which it do not require the water. It is to be chewed, mechanically disintegrated into the mouth. So just by chewing or just by crushing, it will get disintegrated into the mouth itself. So as it is the chewable tablet, we need to chew it. So there is no need to go for breaking of the tablet. Actually, the process of breaking, that is the result of addition of the disintegrating agent. But as the tablet is to be chewed, so it do not require the addition of the disintegrant. No disintegrant is included in its composition in case of the chewable tablet. The important constituents or the important excipients that are needed to be added in chewable tablet are the flavoring agent, sweetening agent, and the coloring agent. That is to impart particularly the agreeable appearance or to improve the elegance. The best example of the chewable antacid tablet is the Gelusil, the very popular brand. So that is the example of the chewable tablet. Next is the effervescent tablet. So effervescent tablet, that is to be dropped in a glass of water before administration, during which the carbon dioxide is liberated. So the interaction will occur between the ingredients when they will come in contact with that of the water, and that will causes the release of the carbon dioxide, and this released carbon dioxide is responsible for breaking of the tablet, for disintegration of the tablet. It can be taken without water, facilitates the rapid tablet disintegration and drug dissolution. Special package is needed to avoid the moisture, because when they will come in contact with that of the moisture, with that of the water, they will cause the release of the carbon dioxide. So for which they need the special kind of the packaging, so that the air or say atmospheric moisture should not get absorbed by the tablet. These are used to obtain the rapid drug action. For example, effervescent antacid tablet, the Disprin. Disprin, that is the best example of this effervescent tablet. Important excipient it requires, that is the flavoring agent and the coloring agent, because we are adding it into the water, and this water has to be taken. So it will require the agreeable coloring and the flavoring agent, so that it will improve its uh, elegance and appearance, as well as the taste that could be made agreeable. The next kind of tablet is the sublingual or the buccal tablet. As you can see in this particular picture, that the tablet that is to be placed below the tongue, sub below, lingual, that is the tongue, below the tongue, and buccal tablet, they should be placed into the oral cavity. These are the buccal tablets. So for drug release in the mouth for systemic delivery by avoiding the first pass metabolism. Let us say, for example, if the nature of the drug is such that it will get metabolized by the first pass hepatic metabolism, because when we are taking it by oral route, it will goes into the stomach, disintegrate, it absorb, then it will goes into the liver, and there it will get attacked by the liver microsomal enzyme, where it will undergo the first pass hepatic metabolism. So the drug that will get metabolized, in order to avoid that process of metabolization and to give the quick effect when the faster action is required, in that case, this is the route of choice. So it will facilitate the rapid tablet disintegration and drug dissolution. For example, nitroglycerin sublingual tablet exert its action within 2 minutes. You can see nitroglycerin, that is the drug of choice in case of the angina pectoris, right? Less blood supplied to that of the heart, so there is a choking sensation into the chest, so that will leads to the process of heart attack, even in extreme, even in very severe cases, right? So in such a case, there is a need to give the quick relief, there is a need to give the quick effect, and for which we require the quick absorption of the drug. Particularly the oral cavity or the sublingual region, that is highly innervated with that of the blood vessels. So the drug that will quickly, it will goes into the systemic circulation, and it will give the quick onset of action. So that's why it is the drug of choice, that is the nitroglycerin sublingual tablet in case of angina pectoris, where it will causes to release the drug just within 2 minutes after its administration, after it is taking. The next kind of tablet is said to be the lozenges. So the best example of the lozenges, that is the strepsils, isn't it? So the strepsil, that is the example of the lozenge, or say the your Vicks, right? Vicks tablets, Vicks candies. So these are the lozenges. These are dissolved slowly in the mouth, and they will produce the local medication in the form of the in the mouth, in the throat, in order to produce its local anesthetic, antiseptic, and antibiotic effects. And for the systemic drug uptake, they do not require the disintegrant. Again, here in case of lozenges, we do not require the disintegrant, because it is to be dissolved into the mouth itself. So we are going on sucking it, and then we are going on chewing it. So which do not require the addition of the disintegrant. The other additives that are needed to be added in order to improve its taste, that is the binder, filler, and must have the pleasant taste, as it is to be absorbed, or as it is to be chewed in case of the mouth. So here you can see the particular time versus plasma concentration graphical representation. Again, there is no need to explain, because already we had gone through this. This is CSS max, this is CSS min, and here you can see there is a continuous level of the drug in case of the sustained release or the controlled release formulation, whereas this is the conventional tablet in which we are going on frequently giving the dose of the drug, where the concentration that will goes below the minimum concentration. So what are the modified release tablets? Particularly all these tablets which we saw till now. What are the different types of tablet that we saw? We saw the conventional tablet, which is said to be the disintegrant tablet, then the effervescent tablet, then chewable tablet, then buccal tablet, then sublingual tablet, isn't it? Is there any else? Right. So all these are the tablets that we had studied till so far. Now the modified release tablet. Now, as far as the definition is concerned, according to the United States of Pharmacopoeia and the National Formulary, the term modified release dosage form is defined. Now, when we can call it as a modified release dosage form, it is given into the definition. What the definition is? It is one for which the drug release characteristic of time course and or location are chosen to accomplish therapeutic objective, not offered by the conventional dosage form. The modified release dosage forms may be classified into two different types. The two different types of the modified release dosage forms. What these are? These are the extended release and these are the delayed release. What is the extended release? How we can define it? We can define it in such a way that extended release, it is the type of tablet dosage form which involve as the one that allows at least a twofold reduction in the dosing frequency. Now this is most important. What the extended release is? It is such a kind of dosage form which will allows at least twofold reduction in the dosing frequency. That depends what? Let's say for example, if we are taking the conventional tablet 4 times in a day, right? And if there is another tablet which need to be taken just twice in a day. So there is a twofold reduction into the dosing frequency. Earlier we used to take 4 times, now we are taking it 2 times. So this second type of formulation is said to be the modified or the extended release formulation, as the one that allows at least a twofold reduction in the dosing frequency as compared to that of conventional, that is the immediate release dosage form. Example is the controlled release and the sustained release kind of the tablet, that is the extended release dosage form. Now the delayed release one, to which we used to call it as a delayed release as per United States of Pharmacopoeia, the dosage form that release a discrete portion or portions of a drug at a time or times other than promptly after administration. Now, when there is a slow release of the drug, when there is a discrete portion of the drug, when the release of the drug that is in the portions over a period of time, then such a kind of dosage form is said to be the delayed release dosage form. So the dosage form that releases a discrete portion or portions of a drug at a time or times other than promptly after its administration, it is said to be the delayed release dosage form. The example is the enteric coated tablets. These are the examples of the delayed release dosage form. When we are taking it, it will goes through the esophagus, through the stomach, through the duodenum, through the small intestine. In this small intestine, it is responsible for releasing its drug. Now, during its passage through the esophagus, stomach, duodenum, it will not causes its release. So that's why this is the example of the delayed release. The release is delayed. Now here is the graphical representation for the immediate release, for the delayed release, and for the extended release. Now as soon as we are taking the drug, it will causes releasing its content. So this is said to be the immediate release kind of the dosage form. In case of the extended release, no doubt the release of the drug that will started as soon as it is taken, but it is over a period of time, for a longer period of time. That is said to be the extended release tablet. But when we are taking the tablet at a time and after passing some time, if it will causes its release of the drug, then such a kind of dosage form is said to be the delayed release tablet. So this is the delayed release tablet, this is the immediate release tablet, and this is the graphical representation for the extended release tablet when we are stating the time against the cumulative amount of drug that is released. Now this is the time versus plasma concentration curve for the conventional per oral dosage form. As soon as we are checking the peak plasma concentration that is achieved, and then further it will goes on reducing. In case of sustained release one, slowly it will rises, then it will goes on decreasing, and in case of the controlled release, it will quickly rises and it will be maintained for a longer period of time in a controlled fashion. So this is what is the different types of the tablet, which are said to be the immediate release tablet, which are said to be the delayed release tablet, extended release tablet, then conventional per oral dosage form, sustained release, and the controlled dosage form. Now we have to go for studying the excipients. Now what these excipients are? An excipient is an inactive substance used as a carrier for the active ingredient of a medication. Now in order to understand the excipient, the best example is of our kitchen, isn't it? Let us say, for example, if you are talking about the particular vegetable, let us say the aloo gobi, isn't it? And what that aloo gobi is, whether it will contain only simply the aloo and gobi. No, it will not simply containing the aloo or gobi. It will contain chilies, it will contain the sugar, it will contain the salt, it will contain the turmeric, it will contain the red chili, it will contain the green chili, it will contain the oil, it will contain the water, it will contain the spices, it will contain the dhaniyas, isn't it? It will contain the ajwain, it will contain the cumin, or all these things are there, right? But we used to call it as a aloo gobi, right? So that aloo gobi, that is the main ingredient, and remaining all these